Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything podcast, and in this episode I should hopefully conclude the Big Finish news for July and August 2024. So we're now on to the 29th of August 2024, and on this day the cast was revealed for the 8th Doctor Adventures Deadly Strangers. Let's have a look at the press release so we can find out more, which is titled Matthew Jacobs Returns to the World of the 8th Doctor. Paul McGann stars in the forthcoming full-cast audio drama box set Deadly Strangers, which includes a story by the writer of his very first adventure, the 1996 Doctor Who TV movie. The 8th Doctor, played by Paul McGann, and his companions Charlie Pollard, played by Indy Fisher, and Lady Audacity Montague, played by Jay Griffiths, have 3 brand new audio adventures in store in the 8th Doctor Adventures Deadly Strangers, due for release in December 2024. The Doctor, so we've got a synopsis for Deadly Strangers, which reads: The Doctor, Audacity and Charlie visit many times and places, always with the best of intentions, but others have a different agenda. An alien princess takes an interest in Puchani, a visitor to Iceland causes chaos, and a lethal interloper slips into the dreams of a sleeping population. Some strangers have deadly intent. The first of the 3 stories, Puccini and the Doctor, is written by Matthew Jacobs, the screenwriter of 1996 Doctor Who the movie. Jacobs was the first person to write for Paul McGann's Doctor, and this audio drama marks his first time playing any Doctor Who media since then. In Jacob's story, the TARDIS arrives in Milan at the turn of the 20th century, where the time travelers encounter legendary opposite Giacomo Pinici, voiced by Tim McKerney, known for Blackadder, Game of Thrones, and Doctor Who Planet of the Ood. But the Doctor's not the only alien around with an interest in the music of love. The 3 new adventures for the 8th Doctor's companions are Puccini and the Doctor, written by Matthew Jacobs, Woman's Day Off, written by Lisa McMullen, and The Gloaming, written by Lauren Mooney and Stuart Pringle. Producer David Richardson said, "How brilliant to have Matthew Jacobs return to the series to write Puccini and the Doctor, a man so dedicated that he woke up at 4 a.m. in Los Angeles to listen in to our studio recordings. He's given us a lovely and imaginative tale, which was very much in the spirit of the 8th Doctor TV movie." Matthew Jacobs said, "This is the first time I've written a Doctor Who adventure since 1996. The Doctor is such an integral part of my life. It's been fascinating over the years to see it grow and grow. Paul has kept the Doctor alive at Big Finish in a marvellous way, and he has become so much more sophisticated as a character than when we were starting. I was over the moon when scriptwriter Matt Fitton asked me to put together a story. We discussed that this version of Paul's Doctor is a bit closer to the TV movie Doctor, inquisitive, not as embittered as he gets through the Time War. The idea that stuck out was when I got to deal with some unfinished business for the TV movie. In the movie, the Doctor says how sad it was that Virginia never got to finish Toronto, and it was the bane of his life towards the end. I want to tell a story to do with the nature of how we use music and how we search for love. That's it about the 8th Doctor's Adventures Deadly Strangers, which, just a reminder, releases in December 2024. Also on the 29th of August 2024, the trailer for Bernie Summerfield The Eternity Club 1 was released, and Bernie Summerfield The Eternity Club 1 releases in September 2024. Here's the trailer.
From Big Finish Productions, Bernice Summerfield, The Eternity Club, The Armageddon Chair.
The Eternity Club. A club for the universe's greatest explorers. Oh, of course. Weren't you Professor Bernice Summerfield? Yes, of course you were.
Hush is angry at the night, angry at the dark, angry at being alone. Santara never screams.
Be a brave little soldier.
I am a brave little soldier.
Professor, a word.
Oh, Secretary Pym, what now?
The members have complained about your appearance.
I fix their plumbing, I reboot their butlers, I keep their atmospheres intact. Isn't that enough?
Have you considered trying to fit in? Making yourself more popular?
They're still here, and they're still hungry.
There are rumours that all is not well in the Eternity Club. A fine institution going to ruin. Why, they even let a human in.
That would be me.
Exactly.
Do you have a name? You seem familiar.
A name? Maybe it will come back to me. One day. And on that day, the death will return.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
That was the trailer for Bernie Summerfield, The Eternity Club 1. Next up, we're moving to the 30th of August 2004, which is when the Sixth Doctor Adventures, The Trials of a Time were released, where I will be talking about the press release, the segment in Vortex, as well as the trailer. So, the press release for the Sixth Doctor Adventures, The Trials of a Time Lord, is titled The Sixth Doctor's Time Trials. Colin Baker, Nicola Bryant and Bonnie Langford face a rose gallery of enemies in The Trials of a Time Lord, a brand new full-cast audio adventure released today. It's 40 years since the Sixth Doctor burst flamboyantly onto TV screens, and Big Finish Productions' anniversary celebrations continue today with the release of The Trials of a Time Lord, an epic 6-part story told across 3 discs. In this brand new audio adventure, the Doctor, played by Colin Baker, is teamed up with both of his camp companions. He's travelling with Mel, played by Bonnie Langford, when they follow a distress call that leads them to a reunion with his old friend Perry, played by Nicola Bryant. The time-travelling trio soon discover that a sinister force is pitching them against a number of foes, all recognisable from the Sixth Doctor's era of TV Doctor Who. There's the Cyber Leader, played by David Banks, Davros, played by Terry Malloy, and even the Canarius Angubs, played by impressionist John Culshaw, voicing a new Androgam character, Stunrip. Here's the synopsis for The Trials of a Time Lord. The Sixth Doctor's 40th anniversary celebrations continue, courtesy of Ludosphere Incorporated, with the greatest adventure ever streamed. Responding to a distress call from an old friend, the Doctor and Mel find themselves in Siberia, a prison camp run by an even older foe, but this time the Cyber Leader's machinations are just the tip of one very sinister iceberg, one that will test the Doctor's very limit and beyond. We hope you're hiding behind the sofa, because the Trials of a Time Lord are about to begin. The Trials of a Time Lord guest stars Rufus Jones, who is known for W1A and Wonka. I've reviewed Wonka, go and check that out if you haven't already. As game show host Brock Zerxin, and Oka Glover, who you may know from Doctor Who Can You Hear Me, as Tiffany Jenkins, a woman from 1985 who's met the Doctor before. The cast also includes George Naylor as Voss, Samuel James as Grolosh, and Holly Jackson Walters as Fulmir. The first 2 episodes of The Trials of Time Lord are scripted by Rushana Patel, the 3rd and 4th by Catherine Armitage, and the final 2 by Stuart Pringle. Colin Baker said, "We've got 6 episodes here with every monster imaginable. The highlight was working with all these dear old chums, with my lovely 2 companions, of course, and also Terry Malloy as Davros and David Banks as the Cyber Leader." And while sadly the original Androgam actors are no longer with us to work with, the Androgams again was rather splendid. They were the prime creatures of the best of all writers, Robert Holmes. Nicola Bryant added, "It's a bit different to a run-of-the-mill Sixth Doctor and Perry story, and it's wonderful to be working with Mel, teaming up to take care of our Doctor. The story is very present, but also harks back to a story I did with Colin, Branch and Veros, which seemed very much ahead of its time." And Bonnie Langford said it was interesting to be part of The Trials of a Time Lord, because I was involved with the original Trial of a Time Lord when it was on screen. But that's when Melanie was introduced, or just basically plot, I think is the right word. Into the series, as wide as it was, this is a very different story, because obviously the world has changed a lot over the years. The Trials of a Time Lord is the second of 2 box sets celebrating 40 years of the Sixth Doctor. Now it's up to Vortex, which is the official Big Finish magazine, which is free of charge. To mark 40 years of Colin Baker as the Sixth Doctor, Big Finish's celebration has featured 2 box sets of adventures. The first, The Twin Dilemma, was released earlier this year and plays on Colin's first television story, The Twin Dilemma, and the second box set plays on the title of Colin's last TV season, The Trial of a Time Lord, out for release this August. The Trials of a Time Lord sees the Doctor team up with both of his original TV companions, Perry, played by Nicola Bryant, and Mel, played by Bonnie Langford, as they face off against several of his greatest foes, leading in charge of Davros and the Cyber Leader, with Terry Malloy and David Banks reprising their roles. And for their first appearance, it's appearing in the TV episode, the two Doctors, the Carnivorous Androgums will feature with John Cultural playing the bloodthirsty celebrity chef Stunloop. Responding to a distress call from an old friend, the Doctor and Mel find themselves in Siberia, a prison camp run by an even older foe. But this time, the Cyber Leader's machinations are just the tip of one very sinister iceberg, one that will test the Doctor to his very limit and beyond. The Trials of the Time Lord is a 6-part story told over 3 discs, with the first 2 episodes scripted by Rishana Patel. I don't even know. I know who Richard Armitage he plays Rassilon. I don't know why that came out of my mouth. The third and fourth by Catherine Armitage, and the final 2 by Stuart Pringle. Jonathan Powell, who has succeeded Jacqueline Rayner as producer on the series, tells Vortex this was a thrilling and surprisingly free brief to be given out the gate as a producer for the 6th Doctor adventure, celebrating 40 years of the character is pretty much any way you see fit. The only steal was the potential title, The Trials of Time, intended to act as a bookend to already in the works anniversary box set, The Twin Dilemma. Script editor Robert Valentine and I had never worked together before this release. Fortunately, we got on like a house on fire, and after about an hour's excited chatter on Zoom, we managed to beat out the bare bones of what we wanted this box set to be. I was especially keen from the off on bringing David back as the Cyber Leader. His performance really sums up 1980s Doctor Who for me, and everything we're celebrating here in the Trials of a Time Lord. Familiar territory boldly reinvented. That's the 6th Doctor in a nutshell. The show acknowledging and celebrating its past while venturing bravely to pastures new. Our 3 fantastic writers who were also seamless in their collaboration, fleshing out outlines in really unexpected ways to produce an epic script beyond anything Rob and I could have hoped for. Rob says Jack came up with the title The Twin Dilemma for the first of our 2 6th Doctor 40th anniversary stories. It seemed obvious to me that its companion piece should be called The Trials of the Time Lord. So this one was a title first idea that suggested a series of Herculean labours that John and I had a long brainstorming session where we came up with a basic outline to give our writers. We've got the 6th Doctor, Perry, Mel and Cybermen. Would there be a more explicit celebration of 40 years of the 6th Doctor? The Doctor's birthday party certainly continues with this adventure, as it's one we've thrown as much of his ear as we possibly could. Rishina has written the opening 2 parts and says the brief for this one was quite different to the normal process of writing for Big Finish. The overarching concept for the 6 episodes was already in place with a basic treatment provided. So very much like the original The Trial of a Time Lord, each writer could deliver their separate episodes, which would then be combined to make one much larger story. I was given the Doctor, Mal and the classic 1980s Cybermen, while the main plot points were being mapped out by the Chipmans, so I still had a lot of freedom to flesh out the details and make the episodes my own, so that's what I did. Doctor and Mal arrive on a magic alien world even and discover a horrific prison camp run by the Cybermen, but that's just the start. This is an epic story filled with countless surprises. I really wanted to make the most of the elements provided. Episode 1 is a very traditional cyber tale ramped up to the max, so I can make the most of the nostalgic thrills on episode 2. I really want to push the narrative in a different direction, do new things. Hopefully my episodes will provide old school thrills and something new and different. Rishana particularly enjoyed research of Cybermen whilst writing the script. She explains, I really loved writing for the 1980s Cybermen and deliberately set out to tell a story that highlighted how different their versions are. Rewatching the 1980s TV episodes, you see everything from anger to panic to paranoia, and it makes for a very different enemy. They're conspicuously emotional despite their claims to the contrary. Most modern stories focus on them as emotionally Where am I up to? I've got lost. Where am I up to? Most modern stories focus them as emotionless silver giants, and as a result they often get reduced to stomping robots, but that's not what makes them terrifying. There's a living person behind every steel match, which is still who is still alive in pain, who is desperate to be free. And that's what I wanted to explore here, to make sense of the contradictory nature of these Cybermen who still seem to be connected to the emotions, yet they are always led by the same distinctive leader. Catherine is the writer of the third and fourth episode. She was beyond excited to be asked to be a part of the trials of a Time Lord. I've wanted to write for the beloved Sixth Doctor for years, and to get to write on his anniversary story was so much fun and such privilege. The things I got to write were the perfect pick and mix of everything I do about this Doctor's era. I'm still buzzing I got to work on it. The brief had so key things that each of us three writers needed to hit, but there was loads of space for creating our own interpretations of the story and to do some world building. There were a lot of back and forth between the writers, the script editor and the producer as we expanded the world and tried to weave our narratives together. From the start we each had two cliffhangers that shaped the stories and hopefully gave the whole thing a feeling of consistent momentum and increasingly bonkers twists. Summing up her story, Kat says the Doctor is trapped in a TV show with a million things that want to kill him. Meanwhile, Mel wants to find the rebels fighting back against the shows. Both of them want to find out who the real power behind it all. I'm not sure I can say any more than that without entering Spoiler City. Everyone on this one was a highlight. I loved getting to play with that delicious combination of fun, humour, satire and darkness, which for me sums up the Sixth Doctor. It's a multicoloured world with shadowy depths, and it was brilliant to get to swerve between the two. It was also fun building in bits of satire about contemporary TV. I love telly, but I also like pointing out how daft it can be, and by extension how daft we humans can be. My favourite bits though are probably the jokes I got to write for all these amazing characters, and everyone gets a hero moment, which were all joyous to create. Stuart has the concluded two parts. He said, I was so thrilled when Rob asked me to be involved with the Trials of a Time Lord, particularly as I'd only just finished a big old rewatch of season 23 via the collection box Blu-rays, and I'd been reminded of how brilliant so much of it is. This story feels as much of a tribute to season 22 as 23, but I love the way that it's been conceived, reflects something of the process behind 23, although a lot less tortured. There was so much in my brief. I was wrapping the whole story up, and there's a real sense of constantly gathering momentum and through accretive twists throughout the whole thing, which meant that by the time episodes 5 and 6 came on, there's a huge amount in play and a lot of balancing, quite complex plotting and structuring. The challenge with anything like this, when you're 1/3 of a writing team and you want to do justice to a lot of incredible actors, characters and ideas which have gone before you, is finding the space to fit everything in well at the same time, giving it your own twist. It's obviously I've obviously read all about Robert Holmes and his dislike of his shopping list brief, but this was the first one I've actually faced for myself. I'm not going to pretend there were moments of blind panic, but there were also those where those pieces fit perfectly together, and you think in the immortal delivery of David Blacknexon, I hope it's a true love letter to 60, and most particularly to seasons 22 and 23, two of the most inventive, ambitious, original series of TV ever made. I'm aware that it's a great honour to work in the footsteps of those writers of Bob Holmes, Pip and Jane Baker, Philip Martin, Eric Surratt and Glenn McCoy and Paula Moore, so I don't take the task at all lightly. I hope we've done that brilliant era justice. Jonathan adds, the recording days themselves were the most complicated session I've ever run. I shall understand when listening. Trials of Time Lord is a mad ride. Rob and I also cameo in a scene as a pair of barflies called Bromwell and Seesaw, so listen out for that. But the most wonderful thing about these sessions how much fun everyone was having. Colin couldn't put the script down when I first sent it to him, and through we all worked our socks off in studio. There's a lot of laughter between and sometimes during takes, and I think we all felt we were making something special. Also and actually the last bit of news will have caught up on the July and August news, and after this I'll talk about when Big Finish news episodes are going to come out. We have the trailer for Dark Gallifrey, The War Master, Part 3. But before that, actually, we're going to have the trailer for the Sixth Doctor Adventures Trials of Time Lord. So you will have two trailers, one after each other. First one will be the Sixth Doctor Trials of Time Lord, followed by Dark Gallifrey, The War Master, Part 3. Enjoy.
Doctor, it's Tiff. Remember me?
From Big Finish Productions.
I'm asking for your help against the monsters. Help us escape the Cybermen.
Doctor Who, The Sixth Doctor Adventures, The Trials of a Time Lord.
Cybermen are never wasteful, Doctor.
We've done this dance before. I'm well aware of what you're capable of.
Stop it! You're hurting her!
You jeopardize my life and the lives of others.
Sometimes you have to make a stand.
We have company. You will surrender, Doctor.
Doctor! Don't let them do this to me!
You cannot escape the Cybermen.
Tell us, what's the best way to cook a Time Lord? Well, this doesn't make any sense.
Your new Antragum.
I'm human.
Delicious.
Hi, Doctor.
Perry? Perry?
Been a while. Close your eyes!
My Perry wouldn't know a kintar from a kitchen knife. She's a botanist, not a bloodthirsty hooligan.
Can't a woman be both? What you thinking? We blow a great big hole in the wall.
I'm talking to whoever's out there. You've made me angry.
I have defeated you, Doctor. I can feel the audience appreciation rising.
And you're going to regret it.
Ah, you really were marvellous, Doctor. That gormless look of bewilderment was utterly priceless. You really had me convinced you didn't have a clue what was going on.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
Whoever you are, you should know I'm well prepared. As am I, Doctor. As am I.
Welcome to the end of Gallifrey and a new beginning.
What the burning sun are you?
I'm every paradox holding this Gallifrey together. I am the skeleton in the closet. I am the abomination.
From Big Finish Productions, The Worlds of Doctor Who, Dark Gallifrey, The War Master, Part 3.
I'm in a lot of trouble, aren't I?
Heaps. A lot of doctors work to remove Dark Gallifrey from existence, and this is the stain they left behind.
Come on.
There's no one as frightened as the man who runs from death.
The TARDISes, what are they doing?
Screaming!
I didn't realize this place was a trap. A collapsing paradox containing all that remains of this Gallifrey. Only those remains aren't physical, they're mental. And this planet's alive.
Sounds like you've got quite a fight on your hands.
Oh, finally, you're awake. Get us out of here.
Oh no, it's you.
What?
I can tell you're going to be difficult. TARDISes have a sense for it.
No, wait! No! Let me go! No hugging! No hugging!
I wonder if you're right.
You've been thinking that all your lives!
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
Have I still got my looks? That's all that matters.
You still look like an aging chimney sweep.
That'll do.
So there we have the trailers for the Sixth Doctor Adventures, The Trials of a Time Lord, and The War Master Part 3. And The War Master Part 3 I'll be talking about more in the next Big Finish news block of episodes, which will be because The War Master Part 3, part of Dark Gallifrey, will release in September 2024. So speaking about that, Big Finish news episodes will be kind of, I've done 2 months together, but normally I would do 1 month. So this will work out about 11 episodes, so it should be about 5 or 5 max, hopefully. Yes, it should come out in sometime in October, hopefully, because I've recorded think it's about a week and a half episodes across 2 days. That yes, I will be ahead a bit, so we'll just see what happens. But yes, let me know what you thought of the Trials of a Time Lord, and yeah, because it's the only one currently out, and we don't have a date for the War Master Part 3 as of time of recording. So yes, that is it. Let me know what you thought of the 6th Doctor Adventure Trials of Time if you've listened to it, as well as the news. And remember, you can put suggestions in the comments below. And remember, you can also like, comment, and subscribe. And that's it for this episode of the Everything Podcast. Goodbye.